alguien más? ¿Qué les pasó?
Well, hello guys, it's Gonzalo from La Cartelera in Spain. First of all, it's such a pleasure and congratulations for the show because it's amazing.
Thank you. Gracias, muchas gracias.
Nada. Well, the first thing I want to ask you is this is a very well-known book, well, series of books actually. So, I mean, I found the adaptation amazing, it's incredible, but which would you say are the biggest changes for you? Which did you feel that, how does it change the show from the book?
Well, obviously, it's obvious. We expand to a way more international cast and not just, you know, the books, which he did such an amazing job, sort of are heavily male-driven, masculine. It's all men, mostly. And it's obviously all Chinese. And I think that ultimately that adaptation already exists. This is a different adaptation. That's the beauty of doing, you know, you have different Dunes and different, like, you just have different adaptations. And this one tries to focus on what the larger scale of the subject matter is in the show, and what that is a humanity crisis, and that engulfs the entire world, therefore involves people from all over the world, and the Oxford Five and most of the cast is sort of people from all over the world. And then obviously the gender flip of a lot of the book characters, obviously Jin and Augie are a mix of two big masculine characters in the book, but I think that what that brings is a different layer of already the amount of complex subject matters that are being addressed. It also helps understand a cultural shock, and I think as the series goes on, if we're lucky, you know, it'll help more and more and more, because the POV of someone from Spain is completely different to culturally the way that I was raised in Mexico and the way that Jovan was raised. So, you know, it helps to add a substantial layer of complexity to the story, and the gender flipping also adds a substantial, and then a lot of like things that are in the first book, I think, are not in the first season, but it doesn't mean that they won't coexist in a moment. So, but ultimately, I think they did an amazing job just bringing a certain amount of science, but also making it digestible. I think they did just such a good job.
Agreed.
Yeah, I couldn't explain better. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask you, because the scientific side of this show it's really important. I loved it. But I don't know, how did you guys work on it? I mean, was it difficult to understand some of these concepts, or you just learn the script and go on?
It was difficult to understand all of the concepts.
You don't look like you're having a hard time, though. You look like you know exactly what you're talking about.
That's just because, well, you know, to give credit to that, that's because they made sure that we had consultants on set. I think Matt was his name, who was just around to help us understand at very, very base level, just enough so that when we are speaking the lines, we understand what the hell we're talking about. But yeah, I think especially on the first read of the book, or the books, excuse me, and some of the scripts, it was just a lot of the terminology was beyond my comprehension.
Yeah.
I mean, I
finished the show and I still can't say nanofibers.
Nanofibers.
They still make fun of the way that I say nanofibers. I was like, I'm Mexican, leave me alone. Like, no one's gonna be questioning why the Mexican is saying nanofibers wrong. Like, she has an accent, it's okay. I mean, it's hard. But it was really hard.
It was difficult, but you know, I think, but they were patient with us, and we all, you know, it's a safe space for us to explore scenes and you know, play them out. So I think there was no pressure to like nail everything on the first try. Like we were fine.
That's cool. That's very interesting. I have 1 minute, so I have to ask you, of course, without making spoilers. This has an open ending. So, have you guys talked about the possibility of a second season or something that can be told right now?
I think there's a lot of story left to be told.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, the books exist, right? So there's so much to go. I mean, if you're familiar with the books, they started in the Chinese Revolution and move 1 billion years ahead of time.
Yeah.
So we only have 1 billion years to go through. It's all good. Just 1 billion. And we could get more, but
a little bit. Okay, so they are telling me that I have to wrap up again. It's been such a pleasure.
I love your shirt. It's a big win today.
Yeah, today.
It's a big win today. Yes.
So, guys, it's been a pleasure and congratulations, because, again, I really love this show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias. Adiós.
Es que no sabemos lo que son.
Y puede que no podamos saberlo nunca.